It's a football Saturday in the SEC. Here is the starting lineup. The man with the golden voice, sports savant, Keefer. One of Birmingham's all-time most multi-talented, iconic broadcasters, Tony Curry. Four-time champion Paul Feinbaum show caller contributor, the legend. The illustrious First Lady of SEC football, Terry Quillian. Award-winning national sports handicapper from Las Vegas, Keefer. And now, let's talk football.
It is week 9 of the starting lineup of college football. It is the Saturday before Halloween, and this is why we have HD TVs. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvira joins us in the studio. Well, you too. I wanted to make sure you look really clear, but the one and only Elvira is on the starting lineup.
I think Elvira is definitely the grand champion of this threesome.
Yeah. We always say you never know who's going to join.
I know, you never know who's going to be in the starting lineup. It's Halloween. Who better than Elvira?
We've had Paul Feinbaum in that chair. We've had James Spann in that chair. We've had Taylor Hicks in that chair. And now we got Elvira. Welcome to the starting lineup.
You know, guys, I was going to wear something a little low-cut and sexy, but, this will do.
I think it probably will.
It's a family show.
It probably is. If you're not awake on a Saturday morning, you will be now.
Yes, that's right.
So, Elvira, I know that you and we'll talk about who you actually are in just a few minutes because you're going to be picking some ball games and stuff, but you are a super busy gal. How can people find you? I know you're at the Hillbilly Hollow. You're doing kinds of things this time of year.
Well, this weekend I will be at Hillbilly Hollow in Vincent, Alabama, and I stand out front and just take tons of pictures and, talk to everybody and all that good stuff. And I know that we're going to be busy. The last weekend that I worked, we had a big charter bus pull up. I mean, it was crazy. It's so much fun. But you can go to my website, which is ChrissyIsbellMusic.com, but that's CRISIE, so ChrissyIsbellMusic.com. You can go to my website and just see all the stuff I've got going on. People can book Elvira. And then the next weekend, every year I MC the Anne Rice's Vampires Ball. It's a big after party. So I get up there and I just act like a Looney Tune. I tell a lot of jokes.
You always act like a Looney Tune.
I MC, I conduct, the whole party and, introduce everybody and do raffle tickets and all that good stuff. So, I just stay booked up, the entire season.
Well, I think I know what you've been up to during the football season so far.
To?
I'm sure you've got all kinds of spells and incantations and all that Elvira stuff. Mm-hmm. Is it your fault that everything is so insane in college football this year? I blame Elvira.
No, don't blame me. I have my favorites, but I've been too busy.
Okay, so it's not your spells. And
no, it's not my spells because Alabama would be winning everything if I worked my spells. So.
And for people who want to know the woman behind Elvira, she is more than just this beautiful woman who plays Elvira. More than she does everything. She even has a show on Tony Curry Radio on the TKR app. She has a show that we do run at night.
Tell us about your guys' show. I want to know.
I'm not on the show, but she actually is. The little mud rat gets after her. Tell people about what you do. It's a great show, man.
Well, I'm like the only chick I know that has a show that I sit and down beers. I love Corona Extra, and I just sit there with my beer, and I'm real, and I shoot the so.
There you go. Elvira joins us right here in the starting lineup. She's going to be standing up at the table for us when we get into our big ball games. You don't mind, do you?
Well, who am I to interfere?
Starting lineup, back at you in a second.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
Welcome back to the starting lineup along with Kip Keefer, Elvira. I'm Tony Curry. Top of the hour, Notre Dame and Navy, and we are knee-deep in SEC football. We have two teams that one of them's going to still be the only undefeated team in SEC play. Our marquee games are up, brother. What do you got?
Marquee matchups this week. Missouri and Alabama. Just a couple weeks ago, Tony, they were the number 1 and number 6 teams in the country. My, how times have changed. Now they're both in the teens. This is a survival game in Tuscaloosa. It's one to watch. Another marquee matchup. Who would have believed that Texas A&M and LSU would be squaring off for first place in Week 9 of the season?
Wow.
I don't think anybody had that prediction. Also in the SEC, the Auburn Tigers, the Shambles from the Plains, continue their weary road trip. They go to Kentucky to play the Wildcats. They've got to have one here. Auburn just cannot get out of its own way. We've seen the movie every week, how they snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And as Tony mentioned, 2 ranked teams, and who would have believed this one? Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, and the Naval Academy. It should be a very entertaining game. Notre Dame has Navy this week and Army next week. When the schedule came out, they probably said, oh, that's an easy 2 weeks. It's not going to work out that way. So we're going to find out what gets your attention on the marquee matchups, and then we'll see what Elvira has to say.
Our picks and our dogs are coming up. Elvira, what do you think about this Alabama squad? They've lost 2 ball games for the first time before November.
And you've already denied it.
I've already said, that because there's a new coach that, this would probably happen. But I will say I love Missouri because I deer hunt in Missouri.
Oh, wow.
All of my huge bucks.
She's a hunter.
She's a hunter.
I've gotten in Missouri. I've spent time in Missouri.
How long is your
Missouri.
resume?
It's
from here to the wall?
freaking long. But I love Alabama, but I do spend a lot of time in Missouri
That's
deer
nice.
hunting. So I get freaking huge bucks there every year, so I'm excited.
That's certainly going to be one of the games I'm looking at,
Yes.
Alabama, Missouri, because I know the line's, 13 and a half, 14 points.
Yep.
I think it's going to be really interesting. Of course, Missouri's without their starting quarterback. They lost their number 1 running back, although their number 2 guys had 6 touchdowns this year, and Noel. Alabama is 0-3 against the spread their last 3 games. They haven't gone 0-4 against the spread in a season in 17 years.
Wow.
Can they get the cover and the spread a little bit later on this afternoon? That's what I'm going to be looking for. It should be just a heck of a lineup. And again, we got Notre Dame and, of course, Navy coming up here at the top of the hour. Legend, what do you like?
Oh, I'm coming for you, Case Keefer. You hear me? I'm coming for you. We're tired, baby. Listen to me. David Legend is on fire. I need a fire extinguisher to put him out. I'm riding with him again this week. I hate to go against my partners, but he likes Navy plus them 13.5, and he likes Penn State minus 6.5. Our dog of the week is BYU. That's BYU, Penn State, and the Navy again. David Legend, 5-0. He's on fire.
We have a marquee matchup going on right here in the state of Texas tonight, and that's when LSU comes into College Station to play the Texas A&M Aggies. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I did not have it on my bingo card that the battle for the top spot in the SEC in Week 8 was going to be between LSU and Texas A&M, but here we are. Now, I know LSU is used to playing in a very loud environment when they play at home, but boy, it is something else when you're at Kyle Field in College Station. A couple of years ago, they expanded Kyle Field and renovated. And one of the things they did in that expansion was for most of the seats, they added more room between them so that, those of us that are attending the games could be more comfortable. Where they didn't add any room, however, was on the bleachers where the students sit. And the reason they didn't add any room there is because the students don't sit. They stand and cheer the entire game. In addition to that, during that renovation, they put coverings up over the east and the west upper decks. Now, that was done ostensibly to protect the fans from the hot Texas sun. But what it also does is it causes the sound that goes up to just reverberate straight down, making Kyle Field even louder than it was before. So it's going to be a wild game tonight, and y'all can see it right here on ABC 3340 at 6:30.
I'm not going to make you wait until the end of the show for my first upset pick. Give me Auburn to knock off Kentucky. Now, I must preface this by saying I don't think I've gotten a Wildcats game right all year, despite being 59 games over 500 through 8 weeks, picking every FBS games at Las Vegas Sun, LasVegasSun.com. Sign up for the Talking Points newsletter. The best college football season I've ever had so far. But back to the task at hand. I think Auburn's roster is a little bit better than Kentucky's to begin with. Now, I know that's arguable. You could say either way, but you know what can't be argued? Look at the underlying metrics, the statistics. Auburn has been better than Kentucky on a per play basis, on a per drive basis. They've just so often had the fatal mistakes. You guys know better than me. I don't really think that's predictive. I don't think this team's always going to be sloppy. Maybe they put together one clean performance, and if they do, down goes Kentucky.
To the groove, and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
So today in the Coach's Corner, we have Kalen DeBoer. Of course we have Kalen DeBoer because Coach DeBoer, you lost to Vanderbilt, which is an absolute embarrassment. And then you turned around the next week and lost to our arch rival Tennessee. What are you doing? What are you doing, Coach DeBoer? I have no idea. But I'll tell you what, I can't figure it out by listening to Kalen DeBoer's press conferences. Wow, those are something. He uses a lot of words, but then it's hard to figure out what those words really mean. I listened and watched him both on Saturday night and then in his press conference on Monday, and I noticed the comments from other Alabama fans made me feel like it wasn't just me, because those comments were like, what is this guy saying? Man, this guy can sure dish up a lot of word salads, and probably the worst thing, man, this guy really sounds like a politician. That's not good. That's not where you want to be. Here's an example, and I have to read it to get it right because it's so word salady, there's no way I can remember it. He was asked a question about a certain particular play call, and here was the answer, word for word. Well, a lot of times there's situations that come up that really work out for you. And you think about the many times we're in the past with different teams and all of that, maybe it's not the decision you would have made as far as that particular call, but there are lots of good calls that you can make regarding all the work. And so what happens is that you have to make sure that you have the guys prepared, and it went on from there. Do any of y'all understand that? Because I sure couldn't, but I'll tell you what I do understand. I do understand that it is not a good sign when you have your players sashaying into Neyland Stadium with cigars already in their mouths. That might have been just a little bit premature, Coach DeBoer. So I want to know, what is going on? And you know what? There is nobody better to explain to us what is going on in that Alabama program than the one, the only, the great legend. Take it away, legend, and enlighten us here.
Oh, welcome to the Legend Cave, where few men have ever stepped. Tony Curry, Kip Keefer, Elvis Presley, Taylor Hicks, and this man right here from Wildcat Construction. Joe, is there any hope for the Legend Cave after what happened in Tennessee last week?
You need some massive repairs, Legend.
Man, this is the man. Get on out of here, brother. I'll send that money to you and get this thing underway. What's going on, Alabama? What's happening? I will tell you now. Bear, bear, bear. I've been crying out to Bear all week. I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. It's a breakdown. It's a breakdown. But we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. I feel it. But I do. But I feel it. We got to get it back in order, ladies and gentlemen. 5 games left. We got no room. There's nowhere to hide. There's nothing. There's no hope. And we don't win every game. Got to get a ball. I don't go to the Birmingham Bowl, Kevin DeBoer, Coach DeBoer. I don't do the Birmingham Bowl. Get it together. Get it together. As you can see, I've been to my psychiatrist again this week. Tony and Kip, they sent me back to Mexico to that great psychiatrist. He said there's still hope for me, but I find myself in a dark place. Is there anybody that can bring me out of this dark place, Bear? Anybody? my God. Oh, my Lord. Thank you, Bear. Thank you, Bear. Elvira, help me, Elvira. Help me, Elvira. I'm on the dark side, Elvira.
Want me to come? Well, the dark side's not too bad.
It's not.
No.
Is that where Auburn's been all these years on the dark side?
Yes. Oh, they've been there, huh?
Have they? What about Missouri? Are they on the dark side? Is Florida on the dark side? I don't like the dark, Elvira. I don't like.
Okay.
Can you do a spell? Can you do a spell for Alabama, please? Please.
Okay, Alabama. Zing.
There it is.
I fixed it.
Whoa! I feel it. Don't you feel it, Kevin DeBoer? It just came over me right there when Elvira did that. There's hope for Alabama, ladies and gentlemen. There's hope for us.
Doing a spell for my team.
Do a spell for Kevin DeBoer, because he's kind of loose up here. He's kind of shy. He's kind of timid. Put some, please, Elvira. I'll be your servant for life, please.
Kevin DeBoer, get your crack together in your mind. And
Get
think
your crack
straight.
together. Get
Think.
your crack,
There you
your
go.
mind together. Get your mind
right.
together, DeBoer. There it is. There it is. You feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Elvira, I know you came up from the depths.
I did.
You see me in desperate trouble.
Right.
Your
I'm
final
here.
spell. Please help me.
One more spell.
Please help me, Elvira.
Okay. I don't know if I
I've been
can.
dropped on my
Might
head
be
many
too far
times.
gone, but I'll try.
Try, Elvira, if anybody can.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Zing.
I'm reborn right there. It is. I feel it. I might get married again. I might get married. I might have 20 children. I feel it. I'm back. The legend's back. Alabama's back. Elvira's in the cave.
Help me. Help. Somebody help me. Help.
Remember, it's just a game. Don't be like the legend and Elvira. Plum sports insane.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.
We love to promote around here. That's why we got Elvira on the starting lineup show today. I want to thank Teresa Alltruth, Expert Realty. She does a fantastic job. 294-4210. She's in the real estate business. She's a broker. She's wonderful. The Woodhouse Day Spa, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Southern Precision Staffing. They're right here in Hoover, Alabama, serving the United States of America. 205-682-2828 for any of your staffing needs. And, of course, our good friends from Spy for Rent. They were actually in the Legend Cave last week. Elvira will be in the Legend Cave this week.
How
Right on
about
the starting
that?
lineup. That'll be fun, yeah.
You're breaking the barrier. I don't think a female's ever been in the Legend Cave.
Wow. I'm the first one.
Now the question is he going to let you out?
Yeah, I'm a little scared.
Elvira, we're doing
I'll
promotions
admit.
real quick. Tell us about your podcast on TKR.
It is weeknights at 9 p.m. Central, and it is an hour, and I'm drinking beer and just with you guys, talking about all kinds of cool topics, lots of hunting for real, because I love deer hunting.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I want to tell you about our radio programs that are our sister shows on Jocks 94.5, Saturday morning 8 to 10, Kip and Terry Game Time. We'll get you ready for all the action around the country and especially in the SEC. And then we come right back on Sunday morning with the 8th season of the morning after, 9 to 11, same spot, Jocks 94.5. It's your first chance to comment on all the games. Maybe Elvira will call in this week and enhance us with her knowledge. But do not miss it. It's game time and the morning after on Jocks 94.5. And if you ever miss any of the shows, go to KQShows.com, and all the shows are at your fingertips. You can watch instantly.
All of our big ball games coming up here. We got our dogs of the week. We're going to pick a couple of games. Of course, for everything we do on this show, K4wins.com. K4wins.com to get all of our plays. You can find out exactly how we're doing. The Legend went 3-0 last week. I was 1-1-1. How'd you do last week? You do okay?
1 and 2.
Okie dokie. We'll get on it here at the starting lineup.
Hey, it's Case Keefer coming to you from Las Vegas for another edition of my Vegas Heaters segment. I am the sports editor of the Las Vegas Sun and for Greenspun Media, longtime sports bettor and sports betting writer. Now, if you've watched the segment before, you're wondering, what happened to the football? What's with the baseball? Let me explain. Let's go back to February 28th, where I gave out one team future for the entire Major League Baseball season. That was the New York Yankees at 10-1. I listened back today. That's how I had the date. I'm mad it was 10-1 because I bet 12-1 personally. It had already gone down by then, but here we are in the World Series. I know you probably don't want to root for the Yankees, but best case scenario, you tailed me, you have a big ticket ready to cash. Worst case, just root for me. Let me get this one home. We've hit a bunch of big futures this year on the show. We had the exact matchup in the Stanley Cup, Edmonton, Florida. We hit, I think, 3 of 4 golf majors. Let's get another one with the Yankees. As of right now, even though it's a pick'em price, I am not hedging. I like the Yankees to beat the Dodgers. Famous last words. We'll see where it's going. But back to the task at hand now. Let's go on to the college football weekend, where we're going to go with a tried and true formula. A early game, a midday game, and a late game. Let's start with the early game. And while we're doing I told you so's and patting ourselves on the back, I want to say the first pick I gave out on this segment all year was Indiana hosting FIU. Now, the number I gave in week 1, they ended up covering. I know they didn't cover some other numbers later in the week in that game, but they have covered every game since. I said, do not get in front of this wagon. Kurt Signetti is one of the best coaches in the nation. He is the best coach in the nation to bet on, and so far they have lived up to that for me. And I've really kind of been laughing at people that try to go against Indiana every week, because I think there's always a case for it, and I hear people saying it, and I go, no, this isn't the time. Well, maybe the joke's on me. Maybe I am the joker this time, because I am fading Indiana today. Washington +7. I think Signetti deserves a lot of credit, but so does quarterback Curtis Rourke. He has been outstanding, and guess what? Now he's out. Looks like he has a broken thumb. They haven't confirmed, but it's going to be Taven Jackson, who showed some good things last week, but I don't think he can beat a Washington team that is a lot better than I thought. Give me Washington +7. Now let's go to the midday game for another expat from the Pac-12. If you've watched this segment before, you should be no surprise that I am taking Cal -9.5 hosting Oregon State. This Beavers team is terrible. I don't understand why they're getting so much respect in the market. Not terrible, just young. They're kind of in a rebuilding phase after Jonathan Smith left. Cal should easily be double digits here. They'd probably be 14 if they just pulled off some of these close games. They find amazing ways to lose every week, including last week where they blew a double-digit lead to NC State in the fourth quarter. I like Cal -9.5. And finally, for the nightcap, let's stay on the West Coast. San Jose State +6 at Fresno State. I think Fresno State's kind of a mess ever since Jeff Tedford had to retire going into the year. They don't seem well coached. They don't seem like their schemes are all well put together. And San Jose State, on the other end, has maximized every ounce of talent they have. I think they do it here again. San Jose State +6. Ken Niumatalolo has them rolling. And for the bonus bet, not going to go NFL. We're going to show our depth here. We did baseball, did football. Let's go basketball. It's the NBA season. Exact NBA Finals matchup. Boston Celtics, Oklahoma City Thunder, 12-1. This price is ridiculous. You parlay the two to win the East, to win the West, you don't get this high. I don't understand how national sports books are dealing a price this high. These are the two best teams by far, and I think they get there and meet in the finals. That was the Vegas Heaters for this week.
Each year, significant funding from entertainment dollars generated at the Birmingham Racecourse Casino and distributed by the Birmingham Racing Commission provides significant revenue to some of our community's most vital resources. And one of those exemplary institutions is Historic Miles College, a true foundational pillar of academic opportunities and excellence, recognized as among America's most outstanding HBCU institutions. Miles College, an annual statutory recipient of funding from the Racing Commission, utilizes those proceeds to assist in providing invaluable education and resources in a variety of fields of study. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, paying off for Alabama.
Okay, best bets upsets. I went 1-2 last week. I'm not happy about it. I'm falling behind in the standings. I need a spectacular undefeated weekend. So I'm going to go, let's start with my upset. I'm going to go with the Wisconsin Badgers. The Alabama fans saying, They're terrible. They looked awful. They're playing a lot better. They're hosting Penn State, who I think's been teetering on the edge of a dull game. I don't think they're that good. They're ranked in the top 3. Come on, man. They're a 6.5-point favorite. If they're that good, they'd be a lot bigger favorite at Wisconsin. I think the Badgers can up and beat them outright. And my two best bets, Tony, you'll be shocked at this one. It's a team that's 1-6. Florida State plus 21 against Miami. They're getting 3 touchdowns. They've got nothing to play for, but all of a sudden they're going to look across and say, man, we're playing Miami. We hate these guys. Florida State plays good defense. Miami has no defense. I really think Florida State's going to show up and play this game. I don't think they'll win, but I think they can stay within the 3 touchdowns. And my favorite game of the week, and this team has burned me a couple times, but I'm going back to Ole Miss. I think the Rebels are playing Oklahoma. They're only a 6-point favorite in Oxford, which I don't understand. Oklahoma, you heard it here first, is the worst team in the SEC, bar none. They are bottom, number 16, last place. I think Ole Miss is going to blow them out today. Let's go to Legend and see what he's got. He's hot, 3-0 last week.
Oh, I'm coming for you, Case Keefer. You hear me? I'm coming for you. We're tied, baby. Listen to me. David Legend is on fire. I need a fire extinguisher to put him out. I'm riding with him again this week. I hate to go against my partners, but he likes Navy plus them 13.5, and he likes Penn State minus 6.5. Our dog of the week is BYU. That's BYU, Penn State, and the Navy again. David Legend, 5-0. He's on fire. Now, out to you, Case. Me and you, we're even. It's on you, dude.
Well, I'm Mr. 2-1 in this segment. I think I had a third straight 2-1 last week. Nothing to complain about. My overall record, 33-18 if you include this segment and the Vegas Heaters. Let's keep it rolling here. Upset of the week, UCF over BYU. The Cougars have been great to watch, but this escaped act can't work every week. They're going to lose one of these close games eventually. Give me UCF. I feel like I've been all on underdogs the whole show, so let's go with some favorites to close it out. SMU minus 11.5 at Duke. Duke got handed the game against Florida State on a silver platter. They are not a very good team, have no offense. SMU is rolling. I think they beat up on Duke. And finally, Texas minus 18 at Vanderbilt. I actually am not downgrading Texas after the loss to Georgia. I think they were shell-shocked early. Still should be able to overwhelm most teams. That includes Vanderbilt. Take it away, Tony.
I feel like I've been 6 feet under, not because Elvira is on our stage either, because I just can't seem to get a winning week. 1-1-1 last week. This week I'm going 3-0. I'm going to take Kansas State minus the 10 against Kansas. These rivalry games are all over the place. Michigan State this weekend is kind of funky. K-State 6-1 against the spread. Kansas can score some points, but they haven't seen a defense like K-State. I love Kansas State minus the 10. I'm going to take those Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I'm not a big Irish fan, despite the fact that I'm Catholic. But Navy hasn't played anybody. They played Temple, they played Bucknell, they played Charlotte. Yes, they're 6-0, but they're only 24th in the country. They have played no one, and they sure as heck have not played a defense like Notre Dame. That's why that line's at 13.5. Notre Dame will win that game by 20. And I also like, of course, LSU catching the 2.5 against A&M. Brian Kelly's not one of my favorite coaches, but something tells me that this may be his year. Both those teams 6-1. Of course, whoever wins that game will remain as the only undefeated in SEC play SEC team. So I'm going to be taking LSU, those Bayou Bengal Tigers. You'll be down there in New Orleans.
I will be. So do y'all have a bookie or?
Why, are you one?
Hey, any action you want, Elvira, just let us know. We'll get it done for you.
Yeah.
I may have to buy the half if I start doing business with her.
Right.
All right, until next week, we've got Notre Dame and Navy coming up top of the hour. Elvira, take us to break. Tell everyone happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, unpleasant dreams.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Step back into the groove and then into the Birmingham Racecourse Casino.
Check this out. It's all happening here.
The Birmingham Racecourse Casino is the local place to win.
Good times right here.
Let the Birmingham Racecourse Casino bring the good times to you. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino, where the good times roll.
Where you could be a winner too. Yeah, boy.